Hi everyone, Elite Assassin here. In a few days, it'll mark a year that I've owned my Xbox One and Battlefield 4 for the Xbox One. Now, Battlefield 4 launched with a rocky start on last-gen consoles, and I had high hopes that, the Xbox One version would be much improved and that all those bugs they see in the 360 version, they won't let it launch like that. Well, let me tell you, I was very disappointed when I got that Xbox One version because not only were some of the same problems there, but it was worse. There were some functions that were in the 360 beta that didn't work in the main game for Xbox One up until April. And I'm mostly talking about the emblem system. You can make your own custom emblem on the Battlelog website and it would carry over in-game. A small thing, but something I really enjoyed doing. And it didn't work for that many months. Kind of aggravating. Now, that was a small thing, but overall the launch was very much a botched launch, very much a disappointing launch, and definitely the worst multiplayer launch I had been involved with. The game remained broken for months after launch, and though we had promises of it being fixed, nothing was working. When you got into it, you can get into games due to the server search feature and how you search for games in Battlefield 4. But when you got into them, many times the game was unplayable. There was severe rubber banding, terrible netcode, and a bunch of other problems. Now, when you did get that occasional game that ran smooth and ran great, the game was amazing. Everything that we thought it would be, and a great time. And those few matches are what kept me and my friends playing. We stuck it out. We stuck around, and once everything was fixed, it was great. We were able to establish so many great memories of the game, have so many great times, and even though there was a slight setback in April-May when the Naval Assault DLC launched, overall the game stayed pretty steady, pretty consistent, and very good. There even was a patch earlier this fall where DICE went through and rebalanced a lot of the guns, changed the player movement speed to match that of Battlefield 3. They pretty much got rid of suppression for most guns, and basically changed the game quite a bit. They never settled for the game. They kept trying to make improvements to it. And, a year later, the game definitely plays differently than it did a year before, and that's a good thing. It still plays like Battlefield, but you can actually play it. Unlike a year ago. So, even though the launch was a disaster, overall, a year later, as I'm downloading the 5th and final expansion of Battlefield 4, I can sit here and say, you know what? I had a great time with this game. I had a lot of great memories, a lot of great moments, and overall, this was a very good game. And that's because I stuck it out. And, this game, Battlefield 4, can draw a parallel to the Master Chief Collection. To put it lightly, last week's launch was a disaster. That's putting it lightly. Of all the things that could have gone wrong, this was the worst possible scenario, short of everyone's Xboxes blowing up when they loaded the Master Chief Collection. It really was. With all the hype and, just great positive attitude going into this collection, this is the worst possible thing we could have had. A lot of people are very frustrated, and rightfully so. But, I ask everybody to stick with it. Hopefully this game won't be broken long. I know a lot of people want to trade the game in and just move on, but hopefully the patch coming this week will fix it, and at the very least stabilize it to where we can get consistent matches at a much better rate. Because let's face it, from myself and a lot of people have said, once you get into a match, the game is amazing. It's just getting there that's the problem right now. Much like, my Battlefield 4 experience, when you get in a game, it's amazing and it's great. So I really hope and urge people to just stick around through this fix. Now, if this fix takes as long as Battlefield 4's did, I really don't blame people for leaving. But if it's just this week and a half, I hope we don't lose too many people. A lot of us have been wanting a big, decent Halo population for a long time. Seeing as how the population was spread throughout the games on 360, I just hope we don't lose and that we haven't lost too many people yet. So if you're out there not on the fence, please stick around because you have a great collection of games to look forward to, and not to mention the chance to play the Halo 5 beta in a little over a month. Alright guys, I started this game with saying, I'm sitting here looking back on a great time with the game that launched with very, very shitty conditions. And I have a hope that, in a little under a year from now, we'll be sitting here waiting for Halo 5 Guardians to launch, and we can look back and reflect on our great times with the Master Chief Collection. All we have to do is stick it out and hope for the best. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good day.